Hi everybody, it's Dandruff with your news cartridge for Friday, September 23rd, 2016. Holy balls, Hello Games broke their silence, and they essentially said nothing. They tweeted about patch notes and pointed to a post on their website from 3 weeks ago. Good for you! But our first story that actually has some substance comes from the CEO of Ubisoft. He seems to have spent some time with the Nintendo NX and says it's easy to use and has a different experience from what exists today. Well, then could you show it to the rest of us, Nintendo? Gee, thanks. Ubisoft CEO continues to say that Assassin's Creed may possibly not return until 2018, saying, quote, "It will be back when it's ready." Yes, please do. Put more time and effort into the game. A game that is ready to play is Batman Arkham VR. Rocksteady Studios says the game has gone gold. Now let's hope they don't fuck it up like they did the last one. Remedy released today the PC requirements for TitanFall 2, and you can find them on your screen right now. They even included specs for running at 4K 60 FPS. Unfortunately for players of the mobile game Star Wars Uprising, its servers will be shutting down on November 17th. Moving on to a mod for Doom. Not the new one of the older ones, that has procedurally generated planets and monsters, pretty much turning the game into No Man's Sky. The mod took 3 weeks to complete. Which brings us to our first release announcement, which is about Doom as well, the new one. Death matches, which should have been included from the start, are now playable along with the ability to host private matches. Getting an update today is Sunless Sea, which fixes the text size along with a bunch of other bug fixes. At the same time, Pokemon Go has been updated and now trainers can track where they have previously caught Pokemon. Yay! A real tracker of sorts! Storyline DLC is out today for Deus Ex Mankind Divided, called Electric Heart. Activision announced today the beta dates for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. It will take place starting on October 14th for PS4 and October 21st for Xbox One, both ending on the 24th. The fourth chapter for King's Quest, called No Place Like Home, is out next week on September 27th. And finally for teasers, Bungie revealed the Iron Banner and Trials of Osiris events are coming back to Destiny, and gamers will look forward to it returning next week on the 30th. You could be playing Paper Mario Color Splash right now, 2 weeks before its launch. Find out how on today's news cartridge. Our first story's a bit of a doozy. Now, I need to preface this with saying I am not holding this part against him, but I think it needs to be pointed out that Palmer Luckey, the founder of Oculus Rift, has been contributing funds to a Donald Trump meme website. Again, I just want to state, I do not care how you vote, how he votes in the upcoming election. I'm still trying to figure that whole thing out for myself. But I'm not a millionaire, and I'm not putting money into my political views. His pro-Trump site paid to put up a billboard with an attack advertisement against Hillary Clinton. Again, I'm not a Hillary supporter. Yeah. What I will go after him for is his relationship with Nicole Endelman, also known as Nikki Moxie, who has announced her support for not only Donald Trump, but Gamergate too. None of this seems to sit right with me, and one more time, I have no problem with him or her being a Trump supporter. I just think it should be known. I have a problem with money in politics, but that's a whole other subject, one not for this channel on airtime. If you want to talk about Palmer Luckey, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, or anything political, please do so in the comment section down below. I will join in. Up next, we got something a little bit easier, and we're going to go over the PC requirements it takes to run Sid Meier's Civilization 6. From a post from Firaxis today via Steam, the minimum processor you will need is an Intel i3 or an AMD Phenom 2, both of which are dual-core processors, and 1 GB of video RAM that's DirectX 11 compatible. That's practically any these days. They gave the examples of an AMD 5570 or an NVIDIA 450. 4 GB of system RAM, 12 GB of disk space, and a 64-bit operating system, Windows 7, Windows 8, or Windows 10. For recommended, not much more is needed, with the only difference being a 4th generation Intel i5 and AMD FX 8350 processors, that's the biggest, 8 GB of system RAM versus 4, and a 2 GB video card instead of 1. Again, they gave the examples of an AMD 7970 and NVIDIA 770. This is really not much to run the game at all, and if I must say, I really do appreciate the format for their specs, opting for sensible hardware instead of seemingly trying to push the sale sale of newer hardware. Though it is a digital board game of sorts, and one could reasonably argue that frame rate is not important. As always, if you need help figuring out if you can run Civilization 6 or any other game, just leave your specs in the comment section down below, and I will personally help you out. I wish it were a PSA in the quick spot today, but it's not because I don't have an official way to help you. Some owners of Forza Horizon 3 are having problems completing their download, particularly gamers who preloaded the game. The developers of Forza are aware of this issue and are currently working on a solution. The best advice that I can give you is to try uninstalling it and re-downloading it and see if that helps. Please let me know in the comment section down below if you have any progress. Finally for the week, a blunder in preloading that allowed access to a game 2 whole weeks before launch. Yeah, 2 preloading stories in a row. In North America, if you pre-ordered Paper Mario Color Splash for Nintendo Wii U and then preloaded it last night, it wasn't just a preload. The game was completely playable. Lucky gamers then took to Twitter to post pictures of themselves starting the game. Since then, Nintendo has completely taken down the download page for Color Splash and have yet to comment on the matter. Paper Mario Color Splash does not release until October 7th, but if you were one of the lucky few to download it, let me know in the comment section down below and let everyone else know if it's worth getting. Now it's time for Monday's game releases because I have to spend the next 2 days rescuing a princess. For PC, Lasers, Can't Drive This, Hey Formicide, Demon Truck, So Many Cubes, Zaya and the Goddess of Magic, Goo Saga HD Edition, Turbo Pug DX, My Fight, Chopper, Lethal Darkness, Make America Great Again, The Trump Presidency, and Battles of Norghan. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been News Cartridge. I am Dandruff. I will see you tomorrow. And what is Samsung's CEO's favorite movie? Total Recall. Ah, topical.